Hi everyone. So I'm like everyone quarantined at home and I decided to make a video series, and this video is going to focus on emotional eating patterns that you might have when you're quarantined at home. So there's a general concept of emotional eating that most people are not familiar with, and that means that most of the eating is actually emotional. Now, don't feel bad because you're stressed or sad or frustrated from being at home. This is exactly the situation that pretty much everybody in the world is in right now. So we have to deal with that, and this is one of the reasons that I decided to make this video. So I created different methods, and each one is going to fit more into the type of person that you are. So between the 4 or 5 methods that we're going to discuss, one of them is going to be more punctual and accurate exactly for you. Method number 1, and this is the method where I say caving in. Now, caving in actually means that I am surrendering, but in what way am I surrendering? When I'm binge eating or emotional eating, most people will go for chocolates and ice cream and things that they know that are bad for them. Why? Because they feel sorry for themselves, and then that creates even more emotional eating. When you are caving in, you're actually surrendering, and you're actually saying, I'm allowing myself, and it's okay, I'm frustrated, but you decide before you cave in or before you go for the binging and the negative oriented foods that you're going to eat and stuff like that, you go for something that is healthy and you try to fill yourself up with that. So that means a salad, or it's raw fruits and vegetables if you can, or boil them, or a soup or something like that, that you know it's not negative, it's good for you, and then you fill yourself up with that, and then there's not a lot of room left for you. Okay, that's the caving in. So that means that you have to be smart. It means that you have to acknowledge your negative emotions, the fact that you're stressed, the fact that you're binge eating, the fact that you're emotional eating, and accept it. And from that acceptance, there will come a tolerance and forgiveness and a total acceptance of that state. And therefore, you won't have so much emotional baggage, and therefore you won't act upon that. So that's. And the second method is about routine, schedule, and it's for people who are more precise. The managerial types, the type of people that need, structure, the people who have rules for themselves. And this is, again, not for everyone, because in this time, when you're emotionally baggaged at home, dealing with your wife, kids, partner, parents, whoever you're stuck with, then there's quite a lot of frustration going on. So when you have that structure, and what I mean structure is, I mean a schedule. So you create your own schedule, better do it ahead of time, like the day before. You know what you're going to eat and approximately at what time you're going to eat that. Now, the best recommendation for this is routine. Same routine, 8 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening. Maybe consider putting a snack in the middle. Tell yourself approximately what you're going to eat. And this creates a structure. And for people who are just like that, it's easy to stay within the structure. Okay? Method number 3, distraction. And this one is my favorite. I'm right now fasting 3-4 days. I'm just on liquids, water, and some coffee occasionally. It's very hard to be a breatharian when you're in quarantine and there's so much frustration going on, and I feel the energy of the world as well. So I decided to go on a fast, and this is the next method. But in method 3, we're actually distracting ourselves from everything that's going on. And what do I mean? There's so many different things that we can do. We can go back to being gamers and play with our cell phone or with our computer. We can watch some TV or Netflix or stuff like that. But it's better to do this type of things that we're not used to indulging or eating while we're actually doing them. So for example, do something new, like something that is artistic. Learn how to draw. Go online on Udemy or other online courses. Do some yoga and light exercise. Make a schedule of the distractions that you want to do, the to-do list for every day. And when you do that, when you focus your attention on what it is that I want to do this day, and not just sit around the house or become a couch potato in front of the TV, then you actually see that you have quite a lot of things that you wanted to do. Work in the garden, talk to some people on the phone, get some work done, so many things. So the third method is really about distraction. This is one of the methods that works best, okay? And again, between those distractions, make sure that you keep up to your schedule. In other words, don't try to snack too much and don't overindulge yourself in the evening time because you're bored or because you're worried about your business. And the last method I can tell you is what we usually do, what the breatharians do, the level 3s or the level 2s, and that is actually fast. So when the mind is distracted with the thought that maybe I should eat something, maybe I should make a shake, maybe I should make lunch or prepare something in advance, maybe all of these things. Now, when you fast, you go to the other direction, the complete other direction. You tell yourself, oh, nice, today I'm fasting. There's absolutely nothing that I want to do except for fast. That means that you can have a water fast, you can have a mono fast, so it's the same type of food all in the day. And this means that you don't have the opportunity or the chance to emotionally eat. Okay, you won't have that distraction with emotional eating that most people actually have, and you're safe from binging. Now, when I have a fasting schedule, I usually have a few days of water fasting, and sometimes I have just a little bit of coffee or something, or a little bit of tea. I call it no caloric fasting, but other people go a dry day fast, water day fast, and then food day, and then you don't feel bad about that as well. So I know that this situation is kind of boring / frustrating / carrying us in some way, because we don't really know what the future holds and when it's going to pass and what the world is going to look like after this. I mean, there's changes that are going to happen and we don't really know. So just control yourself, become more aware. One of the methods that I teach a lot of people who have eating disorders is try to imagine that the thing that you want to eat, the thing that you're craving right now, try to imagine that you're overeating it in a disgusting way. So if it's like a McDonald's hamburger or French fries, imagine what you feel like after you eat 5 or 6 of these. So yeah, the first one might be pleasurable and the second one too, but then it becomes disgusting and you're forcing yourself, and have that emotional energy in the body of how disgusting it feels like when you know that the body doesn't want to eat so much of something that is bad. And play around with this concept, because a lot of it happens in the imagination, a lot of that control. You don't have to have a lot of discipline if you just follow one of these methods that I talked about. So happy quarantine, everyone, and if you want any other type of video for this time, please write it down in the comment section. Love you guys. Namaste.